It's the spectacle, the sizzle, the extraordinary display of athleticism and grace as SEC Gymnastics comes your way right now on the SEC ESPN Network. It's the 7th-ranked Arkansas Gymbacks against the 5th-ranked LSU Tigers. We bring you inside the Maravich Center with two-time LSU All-Around All-America Kaylee Dixon-Abood. I'm Lynn Rollins. Friday night in the SEC, and especially here in Baton Rouge tonight, two nationally ranked teams. This place will be rocking, and I think everybody is going to get their money's worth, if not more.
Each of these teams is averaging over a 197 so far this season. LSU comes in at a 197.369. The Arkansas Razorbacks at a 197.3. However, both of these teams are coming off of different meets from last Friday night. LSU came up short versus Missouri, and it was a disappointing night for them. They couldn't quite get it together. While Arkansas, on the other hand, had a lights-out meet against the Auburn Tigers in a packed Barnhill Arena.
Well, it's not surprising that both Arkansas and LSU are ranked very highly nationally on each event. Let's take a look.
You'll see they're ranked within a couple spots of each other. The only thing is LSU is ranked 18th on the balance beam. They're going to need to do a little bit better on that event, and Arkansas is ranked 7th. So it's Friday night. It's SEC Gymnastics. Both of these teams are going to be fighting for the win.
Well, let's take a look at the Arkansas head coach. This is an Olympic gold medalist, Jordan Weaver. Quite the career she had as a participant in her 5th season as Arkansas head coach, and she's got this program headed in the right direction.
She's a member of the Fierce Five. We'll remember in 2012 where they won Olympic gold. And she has done such a great job with this program to see where it was and where it's going under the reins of her. It's incredible to see, and you'll see incredible gymnastics from the Razorbacks tonight.
I think we will, and there's Jay Clark, a veteran assistant coach, a veteran associate head coach, and now a veteran head coach at LSU in his 4th season. He's had his team in the final round several times, and of course the potential is there for a national championship. Let's take a look at the LSU vault lineup as we get a look at these glamorous leotards tonight. This is a new look this year for the Tigers.
Leotards are always the eye-catching piece of a gymnastics meet. I love seeing what they come up with. They design them themselves. All about the glitz, the glamour. You have to look pretty and feel pretty, and it's all part of the deal.
Look good and do good, right?
That's right.
So coming up first for LSU, KJ Johnson, a junior from Dallas. She's had a couple of career vault titles. Those came in 2022 and 2023. Her career best on the vault is 9.950. And her best score this year in 4 meets is 9.925. This place is packed. I don't think you could elbow one more person in this building.
Everybody's ready to see some great gymnastics tonight. That's about as good as you can do a Yurchenko layout full. That's why she's first on this event for the Tigers. It was huge. She stuck the landing. You really could not ask for much more.
And here's Arkansas's lineup on the bars. It'll be Swaney, Pratt, Drotar, Scalzo, Park, and Jones. Swaney leading off, a sophomore from Belmont, North Carolina. And she's had as good as a 9.9 this year.
She is their mainstay in this leadoff spot. She sets the tone for this bar lineup. And in 2023, she was in every single lineup for them. So that just tells you everything you need to know about the spot that she's in, setting the pace for the Razorbacks right now. So what we're looking for on bars, nice handstands, big releases, and a stuck dismount. That's what the judges are going to take deductions on. She's done a beautiful job so far. Got a beautiful toe point, very nice lines. Little short on that last handstand. That was an iffy one. Let's see if she can stick this. Small hop on the landing, but overall a really great start over there on bars.
So we'll check the score in just a moment, but we retreat to KJ Johnson. She scored 9.875 in the vault to lead things off for LSU.
See that dismount again. Very nicely done. They should be happy with that. That should put up a really good score as their leadoff spot.
And I think we're going to have a delay of some sort as Finnegan waits, but they're working on the vault right now, the vault apparatus. And someone's got a toolkit down there and tightening things up.
Oh yeah, it looks like they're having some trouble maybe raising or lowering the table. It's got to be on a certain height for each gymnast, and each gymnast has a particular setting that they're comfortable doing their vault on. Depends on height, how high they punch, their flexibility. So getting this setting right is crucial.
And this is not something that's just serendipitous, because it has to be exactly where that gymnast wants it and has been practicing on it. Otherwise, it's a very dangerous event.
Absolutely. You definitely want it to be perfect. They practice it this certain way each and every day.
Finnegan doesn't look too upset about it, but nonetheless, they will take as much time as needed to make sure that the apparatus is working properly and can be adjusted to the discrepancy of each gymnast.
Saw Garrett Griffith over there talking to one of the head judges about what to do, since there's obviously a timing issue. They need to stay on track for the meet, so they want to make sure they're staying in compliance while getting the equipment safe for the gymnasts.
Well, as we get ready for this vault, Kaylee, tell me what the judges are looking for. What's important in the eyes of the judges on the vault?
For vault, you want to have a lot of height off that vaulting table, distance, and they also want to make sure that you are sticking your landing. So the start values on these vaults are also going to be a little bit different. KJ's vault started from a 9.95, but she obviously does it very well, so that works for her. Some of the other vaults we'll see tonight, a Yurchenko 1.5, those start from a 10.0, but obviously it's all about the landing. What vault can you do, and how can you land it the best so that we can put up the best score possible?
So a very unusual beginning here with the vault apparatus not functioning properly. And I'll bet a few minutes ago, neither one of those mechanics thought that they would be on national television.
No, I bet not. This is definitely something that does not happen often, but obviously a very big deal. So I'm glad they're able to get some people out here with some tools to hopefully fix it rather quickly.
Now there is a backup set of equipment, I'm presuming, should that be necessary. We hope not.
I hope not, but I'm sure it would not be easy to get over here very quickly.
Oh no, I didn't say it would be quick, but we wouldn't proceed without doing the vault, I'm sure.
No, I would guess not. So in the meantime, you'll see
Did you ever have anything like this happen to you in your All-America career at LSU?
I'm sure we had some delays with timing, but nothing ever with equipment. Unfortunately, when injuries occur,
right,
you have to stop. But no, like this really never happens.
Well, we are nearing the midway point in the regular season for LSU and Arkansas and everybody virtually across the country. From here on, you've gotten a pretty good look at your team. You've had 4 meets. LSU ranked 5th in the nation. Arkansas ranked 7th, judged on the scoring, of course. And at this point on, as you approach the second half of the season, what starts to become in place, and what are the goals from now until playoffs in the SEC championship?
I think finding your groove and figuring out who's going to go up and what scores they're going to put up, how your team is operating, because this is a brand new group of girls entering this 2024 season. So kind of at this point, you should know what you have in the arsenal and who can put up what scores during a meet. It looks like we may be back with Aaliyah Finnegan next up on vaults.
She's had 1 vault title in her career, and that was a perfect 10 last year versus Auburn. The junior from Lee's Summit, Missouri, one of LSU's best.
She's just a beautiful gymnast to watch, and you'll see throughout her performance tonight why. Very nicely done. She loved that vault. She got nice high explosion off the vault table. That's one of the things the judges are looking for. And that was a good start to that lull they just had to kind of bring the energy back up and start things off again. She took a step, but she took a step forward on that vault, which means she over-rotated, and the judges would rather see that step forward than behind.
So now we go to Jamie Pratt, a freshman from Hanover, Pennsylvania. She has scored as high as a 9.9 this year on bars.
She has done an amazing job. It's definitely one of her events. Beautiful handstand right on top of the bar, right into a bail to handstand. Little short on that last one, but look at that toe point. A double layout, and she nails that landing. And that was a great job for her to get that momentum back over there on bars.
So she's trying to follow that 9.725 from Swaney. And coming up for LSU, Amari Drayton, a member of the very talented freshman class at LSU from Spring, Texas. Her best vault this year has been 9.925.
Yurchenko 4.5, step forward, had a lot of height, a lot of rotation in that. It was beautiful.
And her teammates rush down to the finish line to congratulate her.
She was well within those lines, had nice direction. That should put up a great score.
Reese Drotar from Los Gatos, California. One of the taller gymnasts here tonight at 5 feet 8 inches. She can be very elegant on the bars.
And this is one of her best events. She's ranked in the top 30 in the NCAA on this event. She's capable of being almost perfect, scoring 9.95 as her career high. Up to the high bar, into a bail handstand right on top. Beautiful handstand work so far.
Oh, that's nice.
That was a really great routine. A small balance check and a hop on the dismount, but overall a really nice job.
Let's get you caught up on Pratt's bar score, 9.85, and Drayton 9.9 on the LSU vault.
That should put up a great score for Arkansas. I'm excited to see what the judges think of that one.
Here is Savannah Shanehair, a graduate student from Athens, Georgia, who transferred from Florida.
That was Yurchenko 4.5. She had a little bit of a problem on that landing, having to hop back, but her form was nice in the air. She had a really quick rotation. Just didn't quite get enough around on that last half, so she under-rotated it a little bit.
Kaya Johnson and Haley Bryant are still to come on vault for LSU. Scalzo is a senior from Fort Lauderdale. Her bars average this year is 9.850. She's had as good as a 9.9, and her career high is 9.925.
She did not score lower than a 9.8 on this event all season last year. So she's bound to put up a big number for this bars lineup.
Coaches love that consistency, don't they?
That's what it's all about.
.8 for Shane Hare on the vault for LSU.
A blind change right into a release move. Ooh, she was a little close there. Her timing was off with that swing. So she'll unfortunately have to take a fall, which is a 5/10 deduction. She may redo that release move right into that overshoot, depending on what her coach wants her to do because of her start value. It looks like she'll just go for the dismount here. Double layout, a nice finish. It's hard to get back up there after a mess up, but she did it well and finished strong, but that wasn't the routine that she wanted to do.
We go back to Bolt, and we go back to Kaya Johnson. She's had 43 career victories, and 8 of those 43 have come on this vault.
She's one to watch on this event for sure.
And the crowd knows who's about to take the runway, doesn't it?
She's capable of perfection on this event.
And she is a fireball.
Yurchenko double full. That's one of the hardest vaults to do in NCAA, and she does it so well. Quick rotation, small hop on the landing. You'll see it again. 2 twists in the air. Very nicely done, and again, so difficult. Here's some landing breakdowns, what the judges are looking for. Small step or hop, a 1/10 or less, a large step, 2/10 or more. If you fall, that's unfortunately 5/10, and that's obviously what everyone's trying to avoid because that is a huge hit for a routine.
So we go to Priscilla Park, known as Scylla by her teammates.
She is a freshman, and she has already made her mark on this team in multiple events. She was a great club gymnast, scoring 39s in the all-around in club, which is a really great score.
And right now, she is scheduled to participate in all 4 events tonight. A freshman from Atlanta. And I believe she's the only all-arounder in the lineup tonight for the Razorbacks. Haley Bryant and Kaya Johnson will participate in all 4 events for the Tigers. You know something about that. 2-time All-American.
Yes.
In the all-around Haley Dixon Abood. Doesn't hurt to go back 10 years and remember, does it?
Oh my goodness. It doesn't feel like it was 10 years ago, but it was fun. Looks like they're going over the previous routine score because she had that miss, her start value and her connections. They've got to make sure they're scoring it accurately. So there's going to be a little bit of a pause. Priscilla went back and getting her thoughts together, re-chalking up.
You know, we talked about it's been a decade since you were competing and winning All-America honors. My, oh my, how this sport has exploded during that 10 years. And it's just becoming such a spectacular thing to watch all across the land.
It's really cool to see where it was and where it is now, and the excitement of the sport and the love of the sport.
I mean, let's be honest. We've got close to 12,000 in here tonight. You might have gone a whole season and not drawn 12,000 a few years ago.
I don't like that you're right, Lynn, but you are. Yes, that's true. This place is packed, and to see it come to fruition.
And it's at Arkansas, it's at Florida,
Yeah.
it's at Alabama, it's at Georgia and Kentucky and every place in the SEC,
It's
as well
awesome.
as Utah and many other arenas.
Yep. It's caught on. Everyone knows that gymnastics is such a fun sport. It doesn't come around just 4 years. when the Olympics rolls around. It's here every single year. It's fun for your family to come watch, and I'm very biased, but it's a great sport.
There may be more kids in the arena than any other sport as well.
Yep, and having these girls as role models for your kids, they're great people, they're disciplined, they're good athletes. So
good students too.
Good students.
3.5 GPA as a team last fall.
Yep, I couldn't think of a better place to bring my kids to watch great people do amazing things.
So we've had a couple of unusual delays here early. One as the vault apparatus was worked on, and now judges' discussion. Scalzo, after having some difficulty, scored 9.05 on the bars.
And it's hard when you have these lulls in the meet because you're warm and now you're trying to stay warm.
And you've also got the adrenaline level that has already risen to your eyeballs.
Yep.
Kaya Johnson, by the way, 9.9 on the vault. Now we go on bars.
It was a beautiful ray. It was sky high. Pack salto down to the low bar. Beautiful half pirouette. Sets up for this double layout dismount. Small hop on the landing, but a really great routine.
Yeah. The weight was worth it for her, wasn't it?
It was. Her toe point was great. Her release move was high. Right into that pack salto, which was beautiful.
Now coming up next for LSU on vault, truly one of the best gymnasts in America, Haley Bryant. She's had 66 career event titles, 66, and 25 of those have been on the vault. She is a remarkable gymnast.
It's hard to pick which event is the best, but this one's so good. That's
her
exactly
vault average, Kaylee, pardon me, but her vault average is third best in the country.
I mean, her front pike half is sky high. She opens up, she finds the landing. It's very well done.
The chants of 10, 10, 10 come up from the crowd. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, that landing, she kind of landed back on her heels. So I agree. I think that's a right score. I think it's going to be a 9.975 between the two. So I think that'll be pretty accurate.
9.975 on that vault by Bryant. That matches her best this year. She's had 10s, of course. And we go to Maddie Jones, a junior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
She is rather consistent on the uneven bars as well. 9.85 plus 7 times in 2023. Man, hate to see that. So unfortunately, that means that Arkansas will have to count a fall. So she's going to want to get up there and finish to try to get higher than that 9.0 mark to try to sub out that score.
So a tough break for Arkansas. A couple of failures holding on. And fortunate that she was not injured. This is such a difficult apparatus. I think beam to do well may be the most difficult, but this is a close second.
It is. I would have to agree with you. Pack salto. She's got beautiful lines, beautiful handstands. She's got to finish strong here. Everything counts. All right, small step on the landing. She's disappointed in that because she's obviously very capable of a higher score. So we'll see what that shakes out to be with what score they're going to drop.
So this concludes our official competition, but we do have an exhibition for both teams. Chase Brock is scheduled to go for LSU. She's from Atlanta and a senior. And these exhibitions, if you're not familiar, are judged. They're graded by the judges here just as they would anything. It just does not count in any fashion in your team score. But a chance to give competition, regular competition, to extra participants.
Yeah, it's just a good way to get a feel for who you have on your team and how they perform when the lights go on and they're being judged. And Chase Brock, she's no stranger to this arena. She's competed a lot of times for LSU and done so well. She was getting 9.975s in 2023. They have a great vaulter in her, so they could sub her in that lineup at any moment, and she'd do well.
LSU's season high on the vault coming into this meet was 49.525, and that's exactly what LSU scored tonight. So they have matched their previous best this season, the Tigers have on the vault.
They're a great vault team. They really are.
And have been for a long time.
They have.
Here's Serena Linton from South Phoenix, Arizona. A senior. This is an exhibition performance on bars.
Maloney up to the high bar, Pack Salto to the low bar. She's doing a great job so far. Nice form, toes glued together. Fights for that stick, but she got it. There will be a small deduction with the wobble, but that's a great routine, and now Arkansas knows how she'll be if they need to put her in that bar lineup.
So Arkansas will have to count a fall as a pair of Arkansas gymnasts failed to complete the routine. And we'll come back and get you caught up on scores in just a moment. One rotation is over in Baton Rouge. We're in the Maravich Center on the campus of LSU, Arkansas, and LSU doing battle in SEC Friday night gymnastics. And after one rotation, LSU has a comfortable advantage because of a couple of falls by Arkansas on bars. The Tigers 49.525. That matches their best score this season on vault. And Arkansas at 48.175 on bars. After one rotation, LSU leads by more than a full point. Haley Bryant, by the way, was near perfect on vault to lead the way for the Tigers. And we'll take a look at individual scores now. Arkansas did have to count a fall, and that put them behind immediately, but they'll be working hard to try to catch up. And we take a look at the LSU scores on vault, some good ones. 9.875 was the lowest score for LSU in that lineup.
Haley Bryant rounded it out with a 9.975, close to perfect. And that's about as good as it could get. They had a few landing mishaps, but overall a great vault rotation.
We'll come back with the second series with Arkansas on vault and LSU on bars when we return on the SEC ESPN Network. LSU is out in front after the first rotation by more than a point. Lynn Rollins with you, along with Kaylee Dixon-Abood. And Kaylee, let's get the uninitiated or those just getting familiar with this marvelous sport up to date on the format and how these dual meets work.
You'll see that 6 gymnasts compete on each event, but only the top 5 scores count. You're able to drop a lowest score, and then on all 4 different apparatus, your individual event total from those 5 scores is total to get your team score. The home team, you'll notice, goes in Olympic order: vault, bars, beam, and floor, while the away team comes in, starts on bars, vault, floor, and then balance beam. Here's a little bit about how the judges are judging the routines and what's needed to make up an NCAA gymnastics routine. Skills are rated from A, very easy, to E, difficult. You have to have a certain amount of each skill in there: 3 A's, 3 B's, 2 C's, and different combinations for difficulty in order to get you to that 10-0 start value. You have to connect a bunch of skills in order to get there. If you happen to miss a connection, that's why sometimes you may see girls' scores not starting from that 10.0 start value.
So we're set to go. We'll take a look at the lineup. Arkansas on vault, LSU on bars, in front of a packed house. A tough break for Arkansas on the bars as they fell twice. Weaver and Park and Smith, Price, Insepries and Williams. Cammie Weaver from Pelham, Alabama. Her vault average 9.875. She's had a 9.9 this year. Arkansas is a very good vaulting team.
And she is very good at vault. She's got a very nice one, a nice Yurchenko layout full. It was beautiful in the air, really just the landing deduction.
LSU lines up this way on bars. Jeffrey and Cohen, Johnson, McLean. Shane Hare will be in the 5th spot. And of course, Haley Bryant anchoring at 6. Jeffrey out of Warrensburg, Missouri.
And she's a great leadoff for this bars lineup. She's very consistent. She's got beautiful handstands. Failed to handstands. Saw Jay Clark step in. Coaches are allowed to be there as long as they're not actively spotting. She sets up for dismounts. A full twisting double back. Had a little issue on the landing there, but overall not a bad start for LSU. They're definitely going to want to focus on sticking those dismounts.
When we talked to Jay Clark this week, that was his main point of concern, that he thought LSU could make up some points with over the course of the next several weeks, and that was sticking the landings. He said everything looks good until the dismount, and the landings he really wanted to work on.
They add up a half tenth, a full tenth here and there with landing deductions. That affects your total score tremendously. So if you do that on every single routine, it can be detrimental.
Priscilla Park.
And that was a great vault. She did a Yurchenko layout full. Again, a standout freshman for this team, coming in, contributing right away, and putting up big scores.
Her best this year has been 9.825, and this may match it or exceed it. I'm going to take the over on that after watching that ball. We'll see. Ashley Cowan, a 9.9, her best, from Hillsborough, North Carolina.
And she's tremendous on this event. Small issue on that handstand right there, but she was able to recover.
This event has been a specialty of Jay Clark's for many, many years.
And he's great at coaching it. He really focuses on the details. See if she can stick it. Small step on the landing, but overall she had some mishaps on those handstands going over a little bit more, but she was being aggressive. So an aggressive mistake is not always a bad thing, but it will be a deduction. There's that dismount again.
Cammie Weaver was 9.8 on vault. Priscilla was 9.825, which does match her high this year.
Very good, Lynn. You were spot on.
Well, I said over, so
well,
close, but not quite
close.
A winner.
She had that landing. She absolutely did. Small step forward, which will be a slight deduction from the judges, but it was nice and clean and high, so I think it'll still put up a big number.
Jay Clark seeking his 100th career win as a head coach. He was at Georgia, he's been at LSU, one of the most respected coaches in any position he's had over the course of his productive career.
He's a great recruiter, a great coach. He takes care of his athletes, he listens to them, and coaches each one individually.
And you know what he likes to do?
What?
He'll slap a big slab of meat on his huge cooker, and every weekend he's got something going low and slow on that cooker.
That's right. That sounds like Jay Clark.
Have you seen his rig?
I have, yes.
I mean, it's the one you tow behind a huge pickup truck.
It is. Kaya Johnson getting ready to go on bars for LSU.
She's had 4 bars victories in her career, and her best this year, 9.95. That's been her best all time as well. Boy, she is energetic, isn't she?
She is. She's great on every single event.
You don't have to wind her up.
She's doing a great job so far. Let's see if she can stick this dismount. And she does. And I don't know. I think that could be a 10.0. I did not see a deduction in that bar routine.
Are there any blemishes?
I mean, maybe a little here and there, like tiny form deductions, but we're seeing it in a replay. The judges see it one time, so it's just so subjective. You never know what they saw or didn't see.
She stuck it like someone dropped a javelin from a helicopter.
There's no doubt that it was good. That is exactly how you want to do that. Your Janko layout full. She was completely stretched out. She stuck the landing.
That's Frankie Price for Arkansas.
And she is capable of putting up 9.9 plus on that event for Arkansas. So I think we're going to see a pretty big score from her tonight.
And here is a star in the making in Connor McClain. In many respects, she's already a star out of Las Vegas, a freshman. She scored a 10 in the quad meet earlier this year for LSU.
She had some trouble last week on this event, kind of a fluke for her, but she is capable of perfection every time she hits the uneven bars.
Kaya Johnson, by the way, 9.9.
Done a beautiful job so far. Her ankles are glued together in that handstand. Let's see if she can stick it. I saw her foot move a little bit on that dismount, but you never know if they give you the college stick or not, is what we like to call it. No doubt that was beautiful.
Her teammates loved it, that's for sure. Boy, you really have to trust yourself on bars, don't you?
It's all about timing, your swing, your rhythm. It was pretty.
Shane Hare and Bryant are still to come on bars for LSU.
Dakota S. and Price up next for Arkansas. Yurchenko full and a half. She had a lot of power on that, a lot of momentum. She took that step forward, but again, the judges want to see that step forward because it means you have a lot of rotation and a lot of power.
By the way, this is the first time she has competed on vault.
She did a great job. That vault is not easy to do. It's a blind landing. You're in a different atmosphere with a harder landing surface. So that was well done.
And I believe we just heard the score announced for McClain, 9.925.
Savannah is capable of a big score as well for this uneven bars team. She's got big release moves, nice straddle Jaeger, nice handstands. A little short on that last handstand before her dismount. She has a double front half, and she nailed it.
Well, we have seen 3 near-perfect sticks in a row by LSU on bars. And Savannah Shane Hare is the latest to do it.
There's that huge straddle Jaeger. Very well done, up to a perfectly locked handstand. And the finishing touch.
Lauren Williams.
She's capable of a 9.925 on this event. And that was absolutely beautiful. Her form, the smallest step on the landing, but that was almost a textbook Yurchenko full and a half. Her form was beautiful.
She spins quickly, doesn't she?
She does. She tried to hang on to that landing to get the stick.
Now something special perhaps on the bars. Haley Bryant. She's had 10 bars titles 2 times this year. She had a 10 versus Kentucky. She had a 9.925 against Missouri in a winning effort. She is ranked 2nd in the country on bars.
She's an amazing athlete. Huge release moves, a lot of power on every single event. Ankles glued together on that bail down to the low bar.
Her core strength is amazing.
It's got to be to do this sport. Double front half. Steps on the landing, but a really nice and clean routine overall.
Not perfect, but pretty darn good.
There's that release again. And that dismount, the double front half. We'll have an exhibition vaulter over on vault.
This is Haley Klein,
Arkansas.
By the way, a really good score for Shane Hare, 9.95, preceding Bryant. .9 for Haley Bryant. So Shane Hare with apparently the highest score on bars so far in this meet. And here's Olivia Dunn, the senior from Hillsdale, New Jersey. An excellent gymnast, but known, of course, as a mega popular star on the internet.
She is. She is a great girl, too. I've met her a couple of times. So down to earth, so sweet. But this is her event. She's an All-American on this event. You'll see how pretty her lines are.
She's had difficulty with a variety of injuries during her career at LSU.
She sets up for that dismount. See if she can get the stick. A double layout. Very well done. A nice routine. You'll see Paul Skeens there.
That is her boyfriend, Paul Skeens, the #1 draft pick in Major League Baseball last year. You see the smile on his face. Paul Skeens will be going to Major League Baseball spring training camp shortly.
Yeah, talk about a power couple. Olivia should be happy with that score, though, and it's good to get her out there on that event, get her competition ready, because
well,
she
she
might be pulled
definitely
in.
could be part of the lineup later in this season.
Absolutely.
Amari Drayton will follow Dunn on the bars for LSU out of Spring, Texas, and a first-year performer. LSU's got some freshmen that have some eye-popping ability.
They've got a great freshman class, and they're coming in strong, and having strong freshmen pushes the rest of the team to be even better. And to be able to rely on a freshman for some big scores, that's huge.
Speaking of baseball, the season starts here in Baton Rouge with the LSU Tigers 2 weeks from tonight. And the softball season starts in Baton Rouge a week from yesterday. And all of it will be covered by the SEC ESPN network.
Line change right into a Jaeger. Very well done. Nice handstands. She's so precise with each of her release moves and her handstands. Just the dismount left. So she can stick it. Oh, she had a little trouble on that. Kind of pulled it through too much. Didn't have enough rotation, but score doesn't count. She has experience, and overall, before that, it was a really beautiful bar routine.
Team scores and individual scores. We'll get you caught up on them when we come back. A packed house in Baton Rouge, Arkansas, LSU, Friday night gymnastics. After the first pair of rotations, LSU enjoys a sizable lead, 99.075 to 97.375, courtesy of a couple of falls for Arkansas on bars earlier. Let's get you caught up. After the first rotation, Haley Bryant went 9.975 on vault. After the second rotation, LSU leads sizably, 1.7 lead. And Shane Hare was the best on bars at 9.950. Arkansas on vault had to cast aside a 9.9775. And the winner for Arkansas in that event was Price and Williams, 9.875. And then switching over to the LSU bars, we see Cowan's 9.775 was not counted, but the last four performers for LSU were very, very good. Johnson, McLean, Shane Hare, and Bryant. So LSU leading by more than 1.5 points right now against Arkansas, and we'll come back with Arkansas on the floor, LSU on the beam on the SEC ESPN network. Total LSU 99.075, Arkansas 97.375. Let's cast our gaze nationally and see how SEC teams are doing in the rankings. Now remember, these are not subjective. These are absolutely objective, because what you score is what you average over the course of the season, and that determines your position in this ranking. Kentucky is third, LSU is fifth. By the way, all of the teams in the SEC are ranked in the top 21. That's amazing. Alabama and Arkansas 6 and 7. Florida and Missouri 8 and 9, Auburn and Georgia 15 and 21, and of course #1 Oklahoma, which has won 2 straight national championships, and 3 out of the last 4 will be coming into the SEC next year. Does it get a little bit more difficult? I think so.
Oklahoma has been a force to be reckoned with every single year. They're the team to watch. So to have them enter the SEC, it's going to change the game.
Hey, guess what, too? Let's go back 9 years. The Sooners have won 6 national championships in the last 9 years.
They're an incredible team.
Here's the lineup for Arkansas. Klein, Park, Jones, Smith, Williams, and Price. LSU getting ready on beam. Now, this is the event that LSU has had some difficulty on. Ballard and Jeffrey and McLean, Johnson, Bryant, and Finnegan. It's a very capable lineup, but there have been some faults here and there for LSU over the course of the first 4 weeks on beam, ranked 18th in the country.
This team is more than capable of putting up a 49.4, 49.5 plus on this balance beam event. It could be a great routine for them every single time they put someone up. They just got to hit. So here's what the judges are looking for. They're looking for dance and acro skills. They have to be connected. If there's a break in between them, that will be a deduction. And balance. You don't want to see arms wobbling. You don't want to see a fall. Those will, of course, be deductions.
And this event, because of some expectations that were put in place a few years ago, this event has become a little bit swifter for the participants on the beam, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. You want to get up, you want to be calm, and Sierra Ballard going first up on balance beam is just that. She sets the tone. She's done it on floor for the Tigers, and to see her do it so well on beam has been great.
This is the daughter of Lori Strong Ballard, former Georgia All-American and two-time member of the Canadian Olympic team.
Sierra can get a 9.925 on this event. Handspring layout, step out. That's another required element, is an acro series.
You have really got to be a pace setter to be #1 on the beam, because success or failure here can carry over to the entire rest of the lineup.
And that's kind of what happened to them last Friday night against Missouri. One mistake kind of led to another. So you have to have that person to get in there and set the tone, and Sierra is doing just that.
This beam is 4 inches wide, and there is no give to it.
Sierra is so confident and so poised. She sticks this, it's going to put up a big score. That was beautiful.
Well done to get things started. This event has been the hot spot for LSU at times this year, but Ballard with a very nice lead performance.
She set the pace, that's for sure.
And now Haley Klein on floor for Arkansas as Ballard accepts congratulations from her teammates.
Haley got a 9.9 last week versus Auburn, where they had an amazing competition. Front layout, step out to a double back, very well done.
You know, the evolution of floor exercises over the last decade or so has just been amazing. There's a lot more sizzle, a lot more sass to it, isn't there?
There is. Growing up, we used to do classical music, and now it's changed to really anything goes. But it's fun, and it gets the crowd involved.
And the display of flexibility is amazing.
Fortunately stepped out on that tumbling pass, so she stepped over the line. That'll be a 10th deduction. A lot of times, every single floor that you compete on is different, so controlling the bounce and learning how to land your passes, it can take some time.
Let's take a look at the first pass here, Kaylee.
She opened up really, really strong. You'll see that front layout step out into a double back. Very nicely done. Unfortunately had that step out of bounds, but other than that, it was very nice.
Alexis Jeffrey on the beam. Her best score this year has been a 9.775. Her all-time best, 9.9. And a good start for Ballard on beam for the Tigers, a 9.9.
And leading off with that 9.9 score, scores tend to build from the first person to the last. So if they keep that pace going, this will be a really good beam score for the Tigers. Switch side, she kind of piked her hips a little bit on that. Beautiful acro series, a back handspring layout, step out. stunning front tuck. She made that look really easy, but that is a very difficult skill. Not only is it a blind landing, but landing it and going from a complete standstill is so difficult. Another great routine for the Tigers.
Over the years, Kaylee, and you're well aware of this, the gymnastics crowd here has not only grown to capacity every meet, but it's grown in knowledge. It's grown in appreciation, and you can tell that the little subtle things that might have gone unnoticed in previous years now draw the appreciation of the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd definitely loves it. They're very involved. They know what a stick means, and I think they're getting the scoring, too. The scoring can be difficult.
Priscilla Park, who goes by the nickname Scylla. She's the all-arounder for Arkansas.
Arkansas's floor average this year so far, 49.483. Anything on that 49.4 mark is really good. That's exactly where you want to be to hit a good team score on every event.
Well, right now, the floor team you're looking at for Arkansas is #2 in the country.
And that was a huge tumbling pass. She opened up with a full in, highly difficult.
So nationally, this is the best event for Arkansas. Only one team has a better average score. And that, of course, would be the reigning national champion Oklahoma team.
Switch half to a wolf jump. Another required element you have to have on floor. You have to have a split element and a jump. 1.5 to a punch layout. That was a beautiful floor routine. That's going to put up a really great score. She had high difficulty in her tumbling passes, and she did them really well.
And she looked like she had joy on her face as she was doing it.
That's what it's all about. There's that first tumbling pass. Full in. Very well done.
Here's Connor McClain. On January 26th at Missouri, she was perfect on beam.
It was a beautiful beam routine. And she's honestly capable of that every single time. Her gymnastics is so pretty. She's got grace, she's got poise and power. Front aerial to a back handspring. That is her acro series. And she has just had such a storied career. I mean, she is pretty much a veteran for this team because of her career before college athletics. U.S. national team, going to the Olympic trials. She's just an amazing athlete, and for her to come and be a part of this LSU Tigers team, she's such an asset.
So young and so very, very, very talented.
I don't know, Lynn, we may see another 10. That was pretty.
There just don't even seem to be wobbles with her. Nothing that's the slightest indecision. That's the slightest bit of indecision.
If it's not a 10, it's going to be very close.
Johnson, Bryant, and Finnegan are still to come on beam. But this is Maddie Jones on floor. Her average has been 9.908. And she's had as good as a 9.925.
And she is one of their mainstays on this event. She was in every lineup in floor exercise last season for the Gym-Backs. That was a beautiful tumbling pass. That is an E skill, a front handspring double full. She did it so well. And a half to a punch layout. Those legs were glued together. She's got such pretty form and pretty dance elements. One of the other things the judges are looking for are two acro skills directly connected to one another to get you that bonus in order to get to that 10.0. She did that in her last tumbling pass, so she'll get credit. She finishes with a Rudy. That's a D-level skill, also very difficult. And that's going to put up a big number. That was absolutely beautiful.
Let's take the audience out of suspense on Connor McLean's beam routine. Not perfect, but very close. 9.975. And that certainly is a very legitimate score.
It was beautiful. I mean, the judges see things that we don't, and it's the smallest thing that they could take a deduction on.
How about Kaya Johnson now on beam? She's had 5 beam titles in her career. She has had a 10 in her career, and 9.9 is her best this season.
Kaya's an 8-time All-American. She doesn't have a bad event. Every event is amazing for her. Small wobble on that acro series, but she recovered well.
Well, you know, with Johnson and Bryant and Finnegan, the final 3 in the lineup on beam, combined, they've got 18 beam championships.
They have a stacked team, and to have them together and have those scores built at the end of the lineup, that makes a statement.
One of the things about Johnson, she incorporates some original moves and gets into some positions that aren't common on the beam, and it certainly gets your attention, doesn't it?
It does. She's got different dance elements, and she's so powerful. The height on that dismount was beautiful. Small hop on the landing, but what a great routine. That should put up a really good score. There's that front toss.
So back to the floor exercise. Maddie Jones scored 9.9 for Arkansas, and here is Leah Smith. Her best all time is 9.95, and she's had a 9.925 this year. Oh, that's spectacular.
Another front layout step out to a double tuck. She did that so well. Her music is so much fun. She scored that 995 career high on this floor routine last year against LSU. So she felt the energy in that arena last year. Let's see if she feels it tonight, because she can definitely score 995 plus on this floor routine. It's beautiful every time she does it.
She's quick, she's powerful, she's confident.
Double pike, the legs glued together, perfectly stuck.
That's nice. That's very, very nice.
That was a beautiful 14, and I think that's going to pick things up over there for Arkansas, give them a big number to add to the floor lineup. There's that front layout into a double tuck.
Let's go back to the beam. This is Haley Bryant, 5 beam titles in her career. She has not yet scored a 10, but she's had a 9.95.
Between her and Kaya, like I said before, you can't pick a best event for them because they're all just so good.
By the way, Kaya Johnson's score was 9.9.
Haley is just so accomplished throughout her career so far at LSU, and it's not even over. She was a Honda Award finalist. Not only is she a 17-time All-American, but she's just done so much throughout her time at LSU. And her gymnastics, it says everything about her. She's powerful, she's consistent, and she's a huge contributor to this LSU team.
And coming into this meet, 66 career event titles.
That tells you everything you need to know. It's a front aerial into the back handspring. That's her acro series. And that front Rudy dismounts.
She just floats, doesn't she?
She does. That was beautiful. Lauren Williams up next for Arkansas on floor.
9.95 has been her best, near perfection, tied for 7th in the NCAA.
She has gotten a 9.9 plus on floor 8 times. This is one of her best events. Beautiful first tumbling pass. She's got fun dance elements to mix in there. The judges do judge on choreography, so that's important to have fun with it and show it off.
And the elevation on that first tumbling pass was impressive.
She got so much height on that. 4.5 to a punch layout. Very nice. Beautiful leaps, 180 degrees are what the judges are looking for on those split jumps. Setting up for that final tumbling pass. Double tuck, that was about as good as you could get. That was a really nice floor routine.
So we'll see how the judges reward her. Very, very good stuff. Let's go back to Haley Bryant's beam. 9.95 for Bryant. Near perfection.
Have to keep an eye on that floor score for Lauren Williams because it's going to be good.
You betcha. Here's Aaliyah Finnegan. She's had 16 event titles in her career, and half of them have come on beam. 8 of the 16 titles she has amassed have been on this apparatus.
She had an uncharacteristic fall last week on beam against Missouri. So I know she's looking to get that confidence back.
She saved it.
She did. She recovered well.
She's had a 10 on beam. Her best this year is 9.95.
Switch leap to a split jump. Beam is more mental than it is physical. So calming your nerves, trusting your gymnastics. She's just so pretty to watch on beam. Nails the dismount, recovered well on that acro series. Other than that, beautiful routine. It's that leap series from Aaliyah again. That was a really great beam rotation from LSU. They should be happy with that.
Lauren Williams scored a 9.925 on the last floor exercise for Arkansas and deserved every bit of that, if not a little more. Here's Frankie Price now. Frankie's best score this year is 9.95. Her best all time is 9.975.
She's got huge tumbling. She's only one of 3 gymnasts on Arkansas's team to score a 9.975, and she did that on this event right here. Part of the reason why Arkansas is ranked so high on this event in the NCAA, they've got some standout performers. Taking a deep breath before this next tumbling pass. They make floor look so easy, but it is so difficult, so tiring.
Super good.
That was beautiful. That is going to be another big score for Arkansas. You'll see this beautiful sky-high double layout. That was very well done.
Well, let's go back to the LSU beam. Finnegan scored a 9.9. And Kaylee, tonight's performance on beam was the best this season for the Tigers, 49.6. The previous best was 49.425. So a season's high on beam for LSU as we look at an exhibition performer. This is Kylie Cohen.
I think beam is one of the most important events to get an exhibition gymnast out there on, because beam is, in my opinion, the most difficult to compete and calm your nerves on. So getting used to that environment and seeing how she handles it.
And there's no way to simulate it. You're either on the beam or you're not.
And you do pressure sets in the gym to kind of recreate the nerves that you might feel during a real competition, but really nothing is competing like this with fans and judges. She's doing a great job so far. Ground off double full dismount. Saw a few nerves here and there, but overall she did a really good job, and she got out there and got the experience she needed to be comfortable if she gets pulled into that beam lineup.
Frankie Price on floor finished with a 9.9 and might have been underscored a little bit.
I feel like that's a little low too.
And a final exhibition performer on floor for Arkansas, Chandler Bunton from Collierville, Tennessee.
Every one of this Arkansas floor team had such an amazing choreography. I feel like they're all so fun. They all get into it. You can tell they match their personalities, which is so important when figuring out dance for your floor team, because you need to have fun with it. Otherwise, you're not going to do it well.
A little Tom Jones.
4.5 to a punch layout.
Do you know who Tom Jones is?
I do not, Lynn.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's okay. So you'll see the little mat she has over there. It's called a sting mat. They're allowed to have a mat on the floor. There's no deduction for that at all. It's just to kind of ease your ankles on those landings, because it can be tough on your feet.
So the final rotation is front and center. We'll come back with that in just a moment. Get you caught up on team and individual scores. LSU leads Arkansas in the meet in Baton Rouge. To this point for the 5th-ranked LSU Tigers, leading comfortably over Arkansas, 148.7 to 146.75, with the final rotation coming up. Arkansas on beam, LSU on the floor. Haley Bryant was outstanding in the first rotation on the vault. LSU extended its lead to 1.7. Shane Hare was a 9.950 on bars. And after the third rotation, LSU extends its lead with the highest beam score of the season for the Tigers, 49.625. And let's take a look at some individual performances on the floor exercise. Arkansas got some good scores out of the last 4 performers. They are number 2 in the country in this event. Frankie Price and Maddie Jones leading the way with 9.9s. And in that very solid beam routine for LSU, look at the scores of the really everybody. Ballard with a 9.9, that set the pace, and there wasn't too much disappointment behind her.
I think this is exactly what the LSU Tigers beam lineup needed. They needed the confidence boost, because they're capable of this score every single time.
So we will step aside and come back with the final rotation. Arkansas on the beam, LSU on the floor, as we continue with Friday Night Heights from the Maravich Center at LSU. LSU leading Arkansas as we go to the final rotation in Baton Rouge. Let's take a gaze around the league. Kentucky is surging to number 3. It's the highest ranking in program history. Missouri took down number 3 LSU. It's the highest ranked win in Missouri Tiger history. And the Alabama Crimson Tide stays consistent. Top 6 in all weeks this season. Arkansas certainly wants to rally on beam. To this point, Arkansas has season low scores in every rotation tonight. So that's something that they certainly want to cast aside. And we take a look at the lineup right here for the Razorbacks as we get to the final rotation. LSU getting ready for the floor exercise. McLean, Drayton, Johnson, Finnegan, Bryant, and Kaya Johnson. 12,538 gymnastics fans are here tonight. 12,538.
And they all get excited for this event. This is the most exciting one. It's fun. The girls love getting the crowd involved, and it helps them feed the energy into their floor routine and hopefully get those big scores.
So both teams running through their final instructions.
We talk a lot about wins and losses. In gymnastics, it really doesn't matter as much as it does the total team score, because you're not only competing against the team that you're in the arena with, you're competing against everybody else in the NCAA that's competing this weekend. So putting up a big score and Arkansas finishing as best they can is so important.
And by the way, we've got a late lineup change for LSU. Olivia Dunn is going to be third in the lineup, replacing KJ Johnson. Johnson has 2 floor titles in her career. She's a good floor performer and has a 9.95 this year, but Livy Dunn will be on the floor in the 3rd slot for LSU.
And that leadoff beam routine for Arkansas was great. I mean, she was calm, she was collected. It's her standing layout, step out to standing layout, step out acro series. Took a small hop back on that landing, but overall it was very, very nice. A good leadoff.
Callista Gamiao was starting it off for Arkansas. And the crowd's getting revved up. Connor McLean will be up first. The freshman from Las Vegas. Every one of these Tigers who compete, not only the ones we'll see tonight, but several who also are very talented on the floor, they bring a lot of sizzle to this event. There's a lot of spice involved.
There is. There's a lot of energy, and showing off this floor routine is something that this floor lineup does really well. She opened with a huge double layout. LSU had some trouble last week on the floor exercise, some uncharacteristic mistakes. So they're looking to focus and bring the energy back tonight and have a complete meet. And so far, they're doing a great job. Connor was SEC Specialist of the Week in Week 2, making her mark not only for the LSU Tigers, but in the entire SEC so early. And she's just getting started. She's got so much power, so much poise. Her form is beautiful. That's going to be a big score.
Her best this year is 9.925.
It's that first tumbling pass again, a sky-high double layout.
Maddie Jones is on the beam now. A 9.9 has been her best this year. And 9.925 is her career high mark. That's an attention-getting start, isn't it?
It is. I always love when I see different mounts. Front aerial directly into a back handspring, That's called a triple series because she connected 3 elements in a row.
Don't try this at home.
Split jump, very nice. When she throws her head back in that leap, that is incredibly difficult. You lose sight of the beam. Front full, small hop on the landing, but overall not a bad routine. A few things here and there, but should get a decent score.
Let's go back and look at the start of this routine.
She does a handstand, Some dance elements. It really sets her apart with that different mount. I really love that.
Connor McLean is a freshman, but she has set a career high on the floor exercise. She led off with a 9.975. What a start for the Tigers.
That's incredible.
Now Amari Drayton. One freshman follows the other.
She is absolutely incredible too. I mean, there's just so much to say about this freshman class. 2021 U.S. Olympic team trial member. Like, she has the resume, and again, to come to college gymnastics and bring this talent to LSU, it's really going to make them a force to reckon with.
She's a rookie from Spring, Texas. And she has scored as high as a 9.925 on this event this year.
She's got big tumbling, a lot of power. Wolf turn on the floor. Teammates are behind her doing her floor routine with her. It's going to be another big score. There's that sky-high double layouts. Little balance check on that, but not much.
Kelly Swaney is next on the beam, and this is the first time this season that she has participated on beam.
It's another cool mount from Arkansas.
It just immediately directs your attention, doesn't it?
It does. She has a career high on this event of a 9.925. So she may not have been in lineup so far this season, but she's no stranger to this event, and she can do it very well.
That's a nice save.
That was a good save, but she dropped that shoulder a little bit, caused her to take that big wobble. Back handspring layout.
Uh-oh.
That'll be a 5/10 deduction. Jordan Weber coming over, giving her some words of encouragement, maybe some advice on what to repeat, if anything.
Well, you've been there.
Unfortunately.
It takes a great deal of concentration and resolve to get up and try to match what you've already done.
It does. It does. It's hard to finish a beam routine after you've fallen, but you have to get it together for your team because everything counts. Your score may end up counting, so you have to finish the best you can.
Let's go back with Drayton's score on floor for LSU. It was a 9.9.
Back handspring to a full and a half. A very nice finish, but some unfortunate mistakes in there. To the balance beam.
That's not easy to do.
No, and it looks like it's very hard on her shoulders. I've never done that, but it doesn't look like it feels very good. She did it well, though. A very nice finish.
Olivia Dunn on the floor exercise, a late addition.
You know, it depends on who is feeling good and who may have had a little trouble in the warm-up, so maybe that's why they decided to plug her in. But to be able to do that is huge. It's incredible to have depth on a gymnastics team.
She is replacing KJ Johnson. Finnegan Bryant and Kaya Johnson will follow.
Beautiful opening tumbling pass. got beautiful leaps. She always goes over that 180 mark.
Her flexibility is incredible.
It is, and a lot of times people are striving for that, but physically they just can't get there. It comes naturally for Olivia. She's got one more tumbling pass left. Double pike. She does it very well. She knows it's good.
She's been a rising star for a long time on the social media scene. Her gymnastics career has been interrupted because of injuries, but she's trying to make the most of her senior season.
And she's doing a great job. That floor routine was beautiful. You could tell she's trained hard, broke into this lineup, and got the call and answered.
And Jay Clark told us this week that her attitude has been really, really good.
They have individual meetings with the girls, and they just could not say enough great things about Olivia. Cammie Weaver over on balance beam for Arkansas. She is one of their mainstays in the beam lineup. A beautiful back handspring layout step out. She had a bad injury in 2022, so coming back in 23, she was a mainstay in beam and vault for the gym backs.
9.825 has been her highest score this year, but much better than that in her career, 9.950.
You can tell she's just so calm on this event. It's the dismount left, a round off full and a half, nails it. Very well done.
Olivia Dunn's score on floor was 9.875.
Acro series. Coming back on beam after having a fall in front of you is very difficult. So for her to get back up, she was the first person up again, kind of reset the tone for the gym backs.
Well, here is grace and power personified in Aaliyah Finnegan, a 5'4" junior. 5 career titles, all last year, including 2 perfect scores on floor.
She's an All-American. She's got a lot of power, a lot of grace, and a lot of difficulty packed into this floor routine.
And a huge smile as well.
Double Arabian.
Now there's a little sass with this routine.
There's always some sass involved, yes. Aaliyah is going to be an Olympic team member for the Philippines this summer, so she will be competing in Paris. And that is the first time that LSU has had an active gymnast become an Olympian. And so that's just something really cool to be training collegiately while also preparing for the Olympics. Definitely living out her dream. Two and a half to punch front. Nails that landing.
Pepper sprout. Oh, that's good. And the crowd appreciates it. They've seen her be excellent in this building for several years now, and she's always been a favorite.
She is definitely one of my favorites to watch. You'll see that double Arabian, Had a little trouble into that leap out of the tumbling pass, but she made it work, but that will be a deduction. And that final tumbling pass nailed the landing.
Bryant and Kaya Johnson are to follow on floor. We go back to Arkansas on the beam. Serena Linton.
She went 9.825 last week versus Auburn. Beautiful triple series. Her arms were very controlled, keeping her square over the balance beam.
Well, the crowd is reacting to what it thought was a very low score for Finnegan.
It's difficult to know what the scoring system is and what the judges see, so it can be frustrating as a fan. I bet the deduction was on that first pass, the double Arabian into that jump out of it. What a beautiful beam routine. She stuck that landing. Beautifully done from start to finish.
So we'll make official Finnegan's score. I think 9.925, I believe, was the score they announced. One judge gave a 10, the other one gave a 9.85. So some discrepancy there, but still a very good routine for Finnegan.
The average ended up being good, but that score difference from judge to judge, that was a big, big difference.
Here's Haley Bryant. She's had 5 career titles, none this year. The senior from Cornelius, North Carolina. She's been perfect on the floor in her career. Her best score this season is 9.95 through the first 4 meets. And Kaya Johnson, who will follow, has 16 career titles on floor.
Haley opens up with a huge double front, and she's just incredible. She's in the top 20 on all 4 events, 3rd on vault, 2nd on bars, 16th and 7th on floor. I mean, it's just, she's one of the best NCAA gymnasts, and you can see why.
And it's without question. And you've been an all-arounder. You know the dedication it takes, the discipline, the fighting through pain and injury, and just to get yourself in the shape that it takes and the mental capacity to do it is something special, and she's got it all.
And she makes it look so easy. Front layout to a punch, Rudy. That was perfect.
We did a meet last year when she scored 3 10s.
It's incredible. I mean, and she is incredibly consistent, and her scores and her gymnastics shows that. She shows up every single time. There's that first tumbling pass. You'll notice that she only tumbles forward and does forward elements on all 4 events, which is very unique for a gymnast. Most of the time you do a mix of forward and back, but she prefers front, and it works for her. This is Priscilla Park up on beam for Arkansas. Career high on this event, 9.775.
By the way, Serena Linton turned in a fine score, 9.925, and that ties her career high. Congratulations to Serena Linton.
That was a beautiful beam routine and well-deserved score. Switch leap to a split jump.
Well, the crowd is roaring because 10s are coming up for Haley Bryant. And Linton has to fight her way through all of this.
She's got to block out the noise and finish that beam routine, and she did. She nailed that dismount, and it was a beautiful beam set.
Yeah, I should say Priscilla has to fight her way through all of this.
There's that acro series again. That handspring layout, incredibly difficult. She did that so well. And that dismounts. That was a beautiful beam routine and gonna add a big score to that beam lineup.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the anchor of your LSU 14, Kaya Thompson.
Get ready for an explosion of energy. This 5'2" gymnast from Dallas has 16 career titles on floor. The last one on January 19th against Kentucky when she scored a 10.
She tore her Achilles last year, and to have her back in this capacity and doing the gymnastics she's always done and having her do it so well is just so cool, and I'm so happy for her.
And I'm assuming that floor exercise is the most difficult, puts the most strain on the Achilles.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. So a lot of care and treatments, rehab, but you would never know. This floor routine is amazing so far. She's an outstanding gymnast on floor and in the all-around. She went 39.7 in the all-around in 2021 in the regional meet, and that was the highest away score from Baton Rouge in school history for LSU. Doesn't matter if she's home or away, she's going to get those big scores.
By the way, a quick update. LSU already has a season's high in team scoring, and maybe, just maybe, an all-time high coming tonight. This crowd is on its feet. One of its favorites has just delivered.
What will the judges do? 2 10s in a row? Because that was pretty perfect.
That's apple pie a la mode. Sweeter than Mayhaw jelly.
Her face says it all.
So we'll check some final scores for you. LSU an easy winner tonight. There is a beam routine going on for Arkansas. This is an exhibition.
This is Haley Klein.
One judge went 10, the other a 9.95. So it's not perfection for Kaya Johnson, but darn close.
Haley had a little trouble on that acro series. Got to control those nerves, especially in front of this crowd. She is a freshman too, so this is a lot to get used to. Very different from a club competition atmosphere.
By the way, after the conclusion of this exhibition, we're going to show you a shot of the scoreboard because it's historic tonight. Haley Klein on the exhibition for Arkansas. But take a look at the scoreboard. This, we are checking, but we are being told that this is the highest point total in the history of LSU gymnastics. 198.475.
From start to finish, it really was such a great meet for LSU. Here's another exhibition. Kylie Cohen on floor for the Tigers. Front layout to a punch double full.
Well, let's take a look at the bigger picture. It was the 100th victory for LSU's head coach. And the previous high score was 198.375. It's 198.475 right now. 9 years after the previous high score was established, LSU breaks the record. 198.475, the most points ever amassed by LSU. And it comes on Jay Clark's 100th career victory.
You couldn't ask for much better. Kylie's doing a great job so far. Two and a half to finish things off. Very nicely done.
Well, this meet is over, and the capacity crowd of more than 12,500 has seen history. 198.475 for LSU, 196.20 for Arkansas, and for the Tigers, the best production ever with this score of 198.475. So, wow, what a night. Kaylee, we talked about it in the beginning, that this could be a special night, that both of these teams were locked and loaded to try to make something happen tonight, and the Tigers made a huge leap forward, and this, of course, will be a great aid to LSU in rising its average score.
LSU wanted to come back after last Friday's meet and focus, and that's what Jay Clark said they did this week in practice, and that's exactly what they did tonight. They didn't let little things get in the way. So they had a great night from start to finish. Arkansas had a great night too. They just unfortunately had to count a few falls on bars and a few mistakes here and there. But it's gymnastics. Anything can happen at any given moment.
And indeed, it was those two falls on bars that set Arkansas back and put them in a negative position that they could not catch up from. Let's take a look at the all-around performers. Haley Bryant with a really, really high score, 39.825. That's remarkable. Kaya Johnson not far behind, and Priscilla Park was 39.425 in the all-around for Arkansas.
Three strong all-arounders we saw here tonight in the PMAC.
Well, how about this? Let's put this in perspective before we say goodnight. LSU tied a season's high vault, a season's high on beam, tied an all-time high on floor, and set a team all-time high in total points.
What a night.
This is a five-star night for the LSU Tigers in gymnastics.
It was, and they needed that after last Friday night. They needed a good confidence booster.
So that wraps it up. We hope you've enjoyed it on this record-setting night for the LSU Tigers. The final score from Baton Rouge, LSU 198.475, Arkansas 196.200. For Kerry Dixon Abood, I'm Lynn Rollins. Thank you for joining us. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.